Randall Hughes with GodGlorified.com, and we're reading from 1 Kings chapter 6, and we'll begin at verse 16 in the Reese Chronological Bible in the year of between 982 to 975 BC. Solomon building the temple. And he built 20 cubits on the sides of the house, both the floor and the walls with boards of cedar. He even built them for it within, even for the oracle, even for the most holy place. And the house, that is the temple before it, was 40 cubits long. And the cedar of the house within was carved with knobs and open flowers. All was cedar, and there was no stone seen. And the oracle he prepared in the house within to set there the ark of the covenant of Yahweh. And the oracle in the forepart was 20 cubits in length, and 20 cubits in breadth, and 20 cubits in the height thereof. And he overlaid it with pure gold, and so covered the altar which was of cedar. So Solomon overlaid the house within with pure gold, and he made a partition by the chains of gold before the oracle, and he overlaid it with gold. And the whole house he overlaid with gold until he had finished all the house. Also the whole altar that was by the oracle he overlaid with gold. 2 Chronicles chapter 3, verses 8 and 9. And he made the most holy house. The length thereof was according to the breadth of the house 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 20 cubits, and he overlaid it with fine gold, amounting to 600 talents. And the weight of the nails was 50 shekels of gold, and he overlaid the upper chambers with gold. 1 Kings chapter 1, verse 6. And within the oracle he made 2 cherubs of olive tree, each 10 cubits high, and 5 cubits was the one wing of the cherub, and 5 cubits the other wing of the cherub. From the uttermost part of the one wing until the uttermost part of the other were 10 cubits. And the other cherub was 10 cubits. Both the cherubs were of one measure and one size. And the height of the one cherub was 10 cubits, and so was it of the other cherub. And he set the cherubims within the chamber house, and they stretched forth the wings of the cherubs, so that the wing of the one touched the one wall, and the wing of the other cherub touched the other wall, and their wings touched one another in the midst of the house. And he overlaid the cherubims with gold. 2 Chronicles chapter 3, beginning at verse 10. And in the most holy house he made 2 cherubs of image work, and overlaid them with gold. And the wings of the cherubims were 20 cubits long. One wing of the one cherub was 5 cubits, reaching the one wall of the house, and the other wing was likewise 5 cubits, reaching to the other wing of the other cherub. And the one wing of the other cherub was 5 cubits, reaching to the wall of the house, and the other wing was 5 cubits, also joining to the wing of the other cherub. The wings of these cherubims spread themselves forth 20 cubits, and they stood on their feet, and their faces were inward. And he made the veil of blue and purple and crimson, blue, purple, and crimson, and fine linen, and wrought cherubs thereon. Now back to 1 Kings chapter 6, verses 15, 29, and 30, and continuing. And he built the walls of the house within the walls, he built the walls of the house within the boards of cedar, both the floor of the house and the walls of the ceiling, and he covered them on the inside with wood, and covered the floor of the house with planks of fir. And he carved all the walls of the house round about with carved figures of cherubims, and palm trees, and open flowers within and without. And the floor of the house he overlaid with gold within and without. For the entering of the oracle he made doors of olive tree. The lintel and the side post were a 5th part of the wall. The 2 doors also were of olive tree, and he carved upon them carvings of cherubims and palm trees and open flowers, and overlaid them with gold, and spread gold upon the cherubims and upon the palm trees. So also made he for the door of the temple post of olive tree, a 4th part of the wall. And the 2 doors were of fir tree. The 2 leaves of the one door were folding, and the 2 leaves of the other door were folding. And he carved thereon cherubims and palm trees and open flowers, and covered them with gold fitted upon the carved work. So Solomon built the house and finished it. Psalm 127. Except Yahweh build the house, they labor in vain that build it. Except Yahweh watcheth the city, keep the city. The watchman waketh but in vain. It is vain for you to rise up early, to sit up late, to eat the bread of sorrow, for so he giveth his beloved sleep. Lo, children are a heritage of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. Heritage of Yahweh. The arrows are in the hand of a mighty man, so are children of the youth. Happy is the man that hath his quiver full of them. They shall not be ashamed, but they shall speak with the enemies in the gate. Psalm 128. Blessed is every one that feareth Yahweh, that walketh in his ways. For thou shalt eat the labor of thine hands. Happy shalt thou be, and it shall be well with thee. Thy wife shall be as a fruitful vine by the sides of thine house, thy children like olive plants round about thy table. Behold, that thus shall the man be blessed that feareth Yahweh. Yahweh shall bless thee out of Zion, and thou shalt see the good of Jerusalem all the days of thy life. Yea, thou shalt see thy children's children, and peace upon Israel. Back to 1 Kings 38. And in the 11th year, in the month Bul, which is the 8th month, was the house finished, throughout all the parts thereof, and according to all the fashion of it. So was he 7 years in building it. 1 Kings chapter 7, and this is ranging from 975 to 962 BC, according to Reese. But Solomon was building his own house 13 years, and he finished all his house. He built also the house of the forest of Lebanon. The length thereof was 100 cubits, and the breadth thereof 50 cubits, and the height thereof 30 cubits, upon 4 rows of cedar pillars, with cedar beams upon the pillars. And it was covered with cedar above upon the beams that lay on 45 pillars, 15 a row. And there were windows in 3 rows, and the light was against the light in 3 ranks. And all the doors and posts were square, with the windows, and light was against light in 3 ranks. And he made a porch of pillars, and the length thereof was 50 cubits, and the breadth thereof 30 cubits. And the porch was before them, and the other pillars and the thick beam were before them. Then he made a porch for the throne, where he might judge, even the porch of judgment. And it was covered with cedar from one side of the floor to the other. And his house, where he dwelt, had another court, wherein the porch, which was of the like work. Solomon made also an house for Pharaoh's daughter, whom he had taken to wife, like unto this porch. All these were costly stones, according to the measure of hewn stones, sawed with saws, within and without, even from the foundation unto the coping, and so on the outside toward the great court. And the foundation was of costly stone, even great stones, stones of 10 cubits and stones of 8 cubits. And above were costly stones, after the measure of hewn stones and cedar. And the great court round about was with 3 rows of hewn stones and a row of cedar beams, both for the inner court of the house of Yahweh and for the porch of the house. For he cast 2 pillars of brass of 18 cubits high apiece, and a line of 12 cubits did compass either of them about. And he made 2 chapiters of molten brass to set upon the top of the pillars. The height of the one chapiter was 5 cubits, and the height of the other chapiter was 5 cubits. And nets of checker work, and wreaths of chain work, for the chapiters which were up on the top of the pillars, 7 for the one chapiter, and 7 for the other chapiter. And he made the pillars and 2 rows upon round about upon the one network to cover the chapiter that were upon the top with pomegranates, and so did he for the other chapiter. And the chapiters that were upon the top of the pillars were of lily work in the porch, 4 cubits. And the chapiters upon the 2 pillars had pomegranates also above, over against the belly, which was by the network. And the pomegranates were 200 in rows round about upon the other chapiter. And he set up the pillars and the porch in the porch of the temple. And he set up the right pillar and called the name thereof Jachin. And he called the name of the left pillar, set up the left pillar, and called the name thereof Boaz. And upon the top of the pillars was lily work. So was the work of the pillars finished. 2 Chronicles chapter 3, verses 15 to 17. He also made before the house 2 pillars of 30 and 5 cubits high, Pardon me. And the chapter that was on the top of each of them was 5 cubits. And he made chains as in the oracle, and put them on the head of the pillars, and made 100 pomegranates, and put them on the chains. And he reared up the pillars before the temple, one on the right hand and the other on the left, and called the name of the one on the right, that one on the right, Jachin, and the name of that on the left, Boaz. And I believe we're going to conclude our reading for today for May the 29th. God bless you.